Okay, we're live and it is January 6th. This is our first hangout of the year. Looking forward for Resolve and Succeed, masterminding our way to success. Good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
What's happening? Good morning.
So what were you saying, Lucinda?
I was saying that I tried to download the thing that Catherine put on, that a manual one. And this is a problem I've been having with a few different things, is that it says I'm trying to download Office products, which I don't have.
Oh, okay. So it
And
needs to be in a PDF form.
it is in a PDF form.
Is it?
No, it's
PDF.
in a Word document.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay, because it won't let me use Office products, and it won't let me.
Yeah, she just needs to export it to PDF and then upload that, and then you can download that.
Okay, I'll do that, Lucinda.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot.
It's a good read. I would have printed his page. However, his page have a lot of color on them. And so what I often do is I just copy everything to a Word document, and then I can change anything. Like I changed some of the stuff that Renee sent to us. So it would be more personal to me. But I like the Word documents, and I can put on a page, write on a page. I can print it. I'm not wasting all that color ink, which costs so much money.
Yeah.
So I don't like PDFs. They're cumbersome for me. Actually, it's not PDFs I don't like. It's zip files I don't like. I don't know why we now have to pay for an application to unzip a file. So I usually try and get around that.
You don't have to pay. There are free zip files out there that you can use to, or zip programs that you can use to unzip. There's plenty of free ones.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes. I know mine automatically unzips for the Mac. So I think we have an unzip program automatically on the system. And I would have thought that Windows has it by now. I know they used to not, and you have to, download one of those zip things. But I would have thought that they would have something by now.
They used to have something. I did upgrade to Windows 10 when they first came out with it, and it was free to do so. But Office is still version 7, I believe.
Okay.
And there's nothing there now. It always says I have to go click on this, and then it takes you to something that wants you to buy it. So I have been pretty lucky lately with being able to click on it, open it up, highlight everything, right click, copy it, and then put it into a Word document.
Yeah.
Well, I would think that you would have the option to export to a PDF. Real easy. That should be a built-in option, I would think.
I'll check that out.
Yeah, if not, let me know. And I think I downloaded it. And if I did, or I can download it and into my whatever Pages. I think it's called Pages, and then I can export it to a PDF that way.
Okay.
Yeah. The RNS site has the same problem.
Pardon?
The RNS site, our Resolve and Succeed site, have the same problem with that.
Yeah. So I've learned to export. Hopefully, I think I did PDF. To where you can just open it up and print it out that way. I'll double check and see how I uploaded it, but I know I saved it exported it to a PDF so that I could upload it to Facebook, so that everybody could open it up.
Right. So it's wonderful that we have Mike on here. Haven't heard from him in almost forever. Is your sound working better now, Mike?
I hope so. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're a little screamy, but I can hear you.
Oh man.
I think I spoke too fast.
Yeah, you were sounding good when you first got on.
Oh really? How about now?
There's a screech sound somewhere. I don't know if it's just the truck moving or what.
Oh man. Yeah. That might be what
Yeah,
it
now
is.
you're kind of vibrating. Or I don't know what kind of word to choose. That was the first word that came to my mind.
I think it might be his truck because when he first came on, he didn't seem to be moving, and now he looks like he's moving.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm moving. That might be what it is. I
yeah, it
think
could
that's what it
be.
is. So, hey, I'll just make it quick so I can just listen. Okay. You hear me?
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm working on my own food now. I'm not doing Shopify.
We can't under. Did you say you're working on a Shopify store?
I was saying that I'm not working on Shopify.
Okay, you're not working on
And
Shopify. Okay,
but I'm working on my own business,
okay.
something that I'm doing on the side. So I don't really have a lot of constructive information that can help the group right now. I just want to participate by being here and listening, if that's okay.
Oh, no problem. It's good that you're
Okay.
working on your business. You know that the business that you want to work on, and that's the most important thing. You know, because what we've been talking about can apply to anything.
Yeah, it's great. I really need it. I really need the information, and I really, I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys what I'm doing in detail. But right now, I don't really have. Right now, it's not a good time for me to do that. But
Yeah.
I will do it because I want to include. I want to include people
Well,
right? So to
you
know
could.
that I got some good stuff cooking, and I will definitely share
Okay.
maybe next week or something like that. But uh, I have been looking into some things as far as like SEO stuff and building lists, and I think that when it comes down to my marketing business, that is what I need to work on most. I need to do some list building and then get a crowd, get a following, and that's the thing that I think is going to really help me to get it going because I really don't have a list yet, and I don't
Hmm.
have anyone following me. But this is a new year, and my plan is to have that be my primary first thing to do this year. Get a crowd, get some eyeballs pointed in my direction. You know what I mean?
That's good. That sounds like a
That,
plan.
thank you so much. That's what I plan on doing for now. But I have some other stuff going on. I'll be sharing that with you next week. Okay.
That
Okay.
would be fantastic.
Well, I'm
All
glad you're
right.
making progress on going down your own path. Because ultimately that's what we all want to do.
Thank you so much, Renee. You're still my hero, right?
Oh, thank you.
That's not gonna change. I just want you to know that I really appreciate you guys, and I'm planning my business around things that can help all of us. So
I'm
uh,
sorry, you're building your business around what?
around helping all of us, around helping the whole group.
That
Okay.
sounds great.
Yeah. So good things happening in the future. Who's going to the conference?
Me,
Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
am.
I
I
plan
was
on being
looking at
there.
airfare tickets, so I'm still looking for the best price.
Oh, wow. Are you going,
'Cause-
Catherine?
Catherine?
No, I'm not going.
Okay. You know, I can get buddy passes if you guys are having some issues with flights and stuff. I have relatives that work at American Airlines and may be able to work something out where you can get some buddy passes and fly on standby if you're willing to try that. That's something that would be interesting.
To go on standby? What's
Yeah.
the odds of being able to make it?
Well, if you go a day early, the odds are pretty good. That way, you know, you'll have several chances to try to fly on standby, or you can maybe I can help you to get a discounted ticket by buying it early, really early. I may be able to help with that as well. But it's American Airlines, and you know, there are some possibilities there for you to save a lot of money if you want to give it a try.
Yeah, because right now I'm looking at about a $450 for the trip there for just for the airfare. 450 to 500 depending on who I'm looking at. So I'm all eyes and ears at this moment. But I worry about the standby because there's no guarantee, and then standby it could take hours and hours and hours and hours to get there. And I'm not a spring chicken anymore. That would just be a little hard.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's
Yeah.
my skepticism as well. I'm not sure if that's what I want to do either, but it's just something I thought I'd put out there in case you guys are interested in it at
Well, I
all.
appreciate it. Uh, I used to have plenty of miles, but I used all my miles up, so I'm in the rebuilding phase right now. But I'm definitely going. I just don't know the process yet.
Okay. I plan on being there as well. I look forward to seeing you
Oh,
there. Okay.
cool! I look forward to seeing you. That would be nice.
Yep.
I think Lee is going also. Lee McCormick, and he was trying to get on earlier with the other session, but I had him. I told him to try to look out for the new link. So hopefully he'll be showing up soon. But I saw him post that he was going also.
Oh wow. Maybe I should call him and see if he's really going. You
Yeah,
know?
he posted in the 4% group that he was going. So
Okay.
I'm guessing he is. He probably has some miles saved up, maybe.
That's cool. Very cool.
Okay, well, let's get back to business here. So, does anybody have anything exciting that they would like to share with us about the last week? Lucinda, how about you?
Well, I wouldn't call it exciting in some ways. In other ways, I guess it is. I've been looking it out with management in the building here. Finally agree there's mold in my apartment. They're going to do something about it. And mice problem continues on. In here, I think they're coming down from the ceiling, but they're not eating any of the bait. So been having that. Then when I went into my accounts, it says it looks like some things have gone through your account twice. Please check your accounts out. So
Your accounts for 4% or what?
my Visa, my
Oh,
Visa, my bank accounts.
oh, okay.
So I've been having a this week has been more on trying to clean up things that I shouldn't have to. But the one thing that really was wonderful this past week is Renee suggesting that I go with the shopping stuff on Shopify.
Oh, you like
You know,
that idea?
yeah, I like that idea. I'm mulling it around because I'm definitely putting down that I'm getting going on my recipe book, which, by the way, they actually are getting me a new stove this week, so I'll be able to test out things I couldn't test out before.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
we'd
that's
love to see your some of your recipes or your book when it comes out. So make sure to let us know how that's going.
will do. Yeah, and I've had a very bad infection in my ears, so I'm very dizzy. And the doctor put me on some special drops to see if he can clear it up. Basically, everybody got sick around the 21st of December.
Mm.
And even I was looking online and they said that Queen Elizabeth and her husband both got sick,
Hmm.
saying she's either dead or under house arrest, so she can't tell people the truth about what's going on in the monarchy.
Oh,
So whether that's true or not, who knows? Anyway, everywhere I look, a lot of people have died, and there's a very, very large uh, solar mass that's coming from another galaxy that hit the Earth on the 21st, and it broke through the protection around the Earth and has been causing a lot of problems, especially through the Ring of Fire area. But it seems to be hitting us pretty hard here. So I would say 90% of the people I know are having health problems, but we just have to realize that it's part of the changes that are happening, and it's all for the good. So anyway,
I have set the intention. I am staying well and I'm staying healthy. God willing, please. My daughter's been really sick, and so I'm trying to stay clear of her as much as I can, and take my extra vitamin C and zinc and that kind of stuff. So I I intend on staying healthy. How about you, Catherine? How's your week looked? Catherine?
it looks like she's looking somewhere else.
Yeah. Catherine. Catherine, can you hear me? Uh-oh. She might have us on mute. Okay. Well, I did work last night on putting together those two PDFs. And if you haven't downloaded it, you can download it today, when, at your convenience. And it has to do with your weekly review and your monthly review. So you can look it over. You can always modify it to whatever it is that you want, or that you feel resonates more with what you are looking for. But I wanted to set these in motion. So because last week we had talked about accountability partners, and and how some in the group wanted to participate in that, because we all want to get ahead. We all want to start feeling like we've achieved what it is that we set out to do. So this is just a start. And I have, yeah, she's talking to somebody, I think. So I have another slide presentation that I put together from information in the book. But before that, I don't know if y'all have had a chance to go through the PDFs that I uploaded last week about your gratitude, things that you're thankful for, people and things, and gifts and stuff like that, as well as the year in review. But the more I look at it, the more I think, wow. And then in conjunction with what I've read and the slides that I put together, all I can think is, wow, a lot of this stuff has been presented to us in bits and pieces over, the last couple of years with Vic and Jason and some of the other people that I've listened to. So it's like all little bits and pieces, but this is kind of like all in one spot. So I really like that idea. And I would highly recommend going through the exercises for your own personal use, so that it could help give even more clarity. Because I know, like for you, Lucinda, you're doing your recipe book, and setting goals on getting things accomplished for your book so that you can just hurry up and get it out,
Right.
there, and finally have it done and behind you so that you can start reaping the rewards.
Yes.
It's a matter of setting you have your goal set and you're committed to that. So now it's time to start setting some deadlines and some extra steps that you need to do in order to get it done.
Right. Well, earlier in the fall, I did set the goal that I would be doing really well on the recipe book starting at the beginning of this year. So I'm very, very determined to get going because I have ideas for a few other recipe books, and I'll just do them pretty much at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Will be smaller ones and not as many pictures. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. So the things that we have gratitude for is if I hadn't had these health conditions, I wouldn't have the ability to write about people with food intolerances.
That's true.
So anyway, I'm grateful that I've learned all these new things through it. So I'm very, very. I've just made up my mind that it's going now. I'm getting the stove coming in. He said probably on Monday, so that's going to help too tremendously.
That'll make a big difference. Yeah, that way you can experiment with it and improve upon the recipes that you've found and stuff like that, so that you can make it ideal and show pictures of the end result and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So
well, I've been writing it for I've got a lot of recipes that I made myself. I've developed a lot of recipes for myself because a while there I could eat almost nothing. And I just make a list of the things that I can eat and borderline stuff, and I'd only buy those things and then figure out and say, well, okay, I've got this, what do I do?
well, that's good, because it's even better when you have your original recipes, because people are always looking for new things, in addition to some of their old favorites. So that's good.
Mm-hmm. We can get so many more different types of flours and grains and stuff that a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been having a lot of fun with those as well.
That's good.
Yeah.
Is Catherine with us? Is Catherine back with us now?
I am. We have issues. That's why I was eating when this was starting. We have a truck with a flat tire. We have a car that has an inspection problem. We have a home health aide that's texting me insane things from my dad's doctor's office. So that's why I shut everything down so I can try and look up phone numbers and ask the home health aide a question to get my dad takes Coumadin, and you have to adjust it constantly. So it goes in weekly for blood test. And I don't take him there, the home health aide does. And they are on Fridays.
Well,
so 3 milligram every day. I got my answer, so that's over. I'm here with 100% attention again. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. You look distracted, like you were taking care of some other business. So that's why we were talking about Lucinda's recipe book and I was wanting to see, I think you've gone through the PDFs from last week that I uploaded.
I did. I copied them to a Word document, like I said earlier.
Okay. All right. And you found that to be helpful in getting you a little bit more organized in what it is that you wanted to accomplish?
Yeah, I am really great at writing goals. I can write the most fabulous goals. They just look marvelous. They sound great. They'll change the world in the end. I never accomplish them.
Why is that?
You know, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
Well, you just said it right there. You don't accomplish it.
No, I think from what I was reading, you know, let's see, there was actually a section I kind of held out. Where is it? He was talking about the grant, setting goals. I have to get my reading glasses here. And he was talking about, let's see, where is it? There was a section, I swear. But he was talking about, you know, when you're suspending reality, you're setting your goals, you're going big, that, you know, that's extremely important. And then, and he talks about making sure your goals are in alignment with your values, you know, because that can make a big difference. Okay, where is this thing? There was a section that when you're setting your goals, to make sure that they're balanced, and maybe this might have something to do with it, because he talks about the you factor, you know, because you have all your goals set and you have your path set, but one of the biggest things that hinders you from actually getting it all done is what he calls the you factor. And he talks about building up you because okay, where are those words? Well, actually, it's probably in the slide. So maybe I'll wait to cover that in the slide. But he talks about you need to work on you know, and raise your self-confidence and raise your value of yourself, you know, because you have a set point that we all have a set point in our mind as to what we actually can accomplish, actually who we are, and all that kind of stuff. And we can have these great goals, but if our self-worth or our set point is not able to sustain those goals, then we're not going to make it. So we have to work on ourselves and raising the set point in our brain, so that as we work towards those goals, we'll hit them. Does that make sense?
Yes, I agree with absolutely everything you just said. And I think a lot of it really does go to who you think you are. Mm-hmm. Which is why one of the things that I'm reading to myself every day is that I believe in me. Mm-hmm. For short, you know, what I decided, and I meant what I said in that email. I had not done any of this until you posted those documents. And I did change some things. I rewrote my commitment. I used a lot of your thought, but I turned it into something totally positive. I think I'm affected by negative things really quickly. I have a friend I no longer see, aside from the fact that she thinks I'm crazy for what I'm doing. She's a very negative person. It's always horrible things are happening. And I told her sometime back, you know, if you can't call or come and see me and have something nice to say, I can't keep seeing you. So she was the really last friend who was sticking with me, even though they all thought I'm crazy for not going back to work. But what your thing did is it got me thinking. I like the gratitude part, and I sometimes added more than 3 or whatever the number was because I was coming up with more.
Which is great.
Yes. And I did the year in review. There I came up with more, exam, usually what you ask for. And I read it every day. I read the other thing it got me to do was something I hadn't done in a while, and that is write intention statements. There's only 10 of them. They're relatively short, less than one piece of typing paper. But I went back to some documentation I had on how to write a intention statement to make sure I did it well and correctly. I'm reading this every day, and that seems to be a good thing. The thing that I think will make a difference on whether I am successful, even less than I have to believe in me, or even more than that, is that I don't schedule it. That's what I came up with on about day 3 after our last meeting of going through all this, creating all this paper. I make great goals because I'm looking at them, I'm thinking this is fabulous. This is very similar to what I said last year and probably the year before. So why doesn't it happen? You know, what I've come up with is I don't fit it all in. I don't prioritize things that should be prioritized. And as much as I hate to admit it, I waste time. I am the busy person that's accomplishing nothing. That's a really good example of who I am. I'm the busy person. I'm busy all day long. But at the end of the day, what do I have to show for it? And the answer often is very little. So I bought myself a brand new black binder. And in it, I'm not a journaler. I don't really want to journal. However, it's sort of becoming a little bit like a journal. At the end of the day, so that would be over here, and I do this part in bed. All this stuff is in a brown folder, and on my list is read something out of the brown folder. Not everything, there's about that much paper in it. But that's one of the things on the list. I actually make a list of everything I have to do the next day. And then as I do it, I check everything off. So I can't say that I've actually accomplished everything, but I'm on that path. You know, some things, what I've tried to do is I wrote goals about my business making money. I wrote goals about my health because it sucks and I got to do something about it. And step 1 about that is get up off my butt away from this desk. I go to the Y Mondays and Wednesdays for 2 hours of classes in the pool. But I didn't go this Wednesday because my dad needed help. So I have boatloads of courses, and I got 50-some things from Mind Valley. I wasn't always poor. I could spend some money on self-improvement stuff. So I went and found a yoga course in Mind Valley that I already owned. And I went and found a Qigong course, which I used to do Qigong and think it's great. And that would not only exercise my body like yoga, but even more than yoga, it's a healing thing for your whole body. And my whole body needs some healing. Mm-hmm. I have quit smoking, which is awesome, but I've also gained 30 pounds. So now I weigh almost 220, 217. And that's one of the things on my list. Weigh me every day. My instructions really says once a week. However, you know, you fluctuate, and if I weighed the next week and it was a pound up, then I would just be depressed. If I see it going up and down, then I will be cool with that, as long as it's going farther down than up. So that's what my goals are, and one has to do with making money, which is the business, and one has to do with my health, which if I don't fix that, then nothing else matters anyway. And the other one has to do with something I've learned over the past year in creating the ads for Project Breakthrough, learning how to build funnels and quick funnels, and then creating the Shopify store. I've always known that I'm analytical. I'm a programmer. You have to sort of be. But I never thought of myself as creative. And what I realized is while I'm doing those things, that is creativity. And I am loving it. Sort of like 30 years ago or 35 years ago when I first became a COBOL programmer and thought it was better than sex. That's how much that's how much I love COBOL. It's over, not so much, but so I've decided I am creative also. So my third thing is that I have to find something that uses my creative abilities. And that should be building Shopify stores or building ClickFunnels funnels. If I had the money, the event I would go to is the ClickFunnels event, because I would learn how to do that and then advertise myself to build other people funnels, because building people's Shopify stores, once I'm good at it, I don't think I'm all that good at it yet. I think I could be. I think that would be, they say do what you love and love what you do. If that's what I was doing all day long, that's what I would love to do, and I would be doing what I love. So my goal
is that a part of your goal?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not a today goal. Today is learn Shopify. I can't do either one of those things unless I rock at building Shopify stores. Remember, I don't know if you remember, if you were even with us then, but one of the things I was really trying to do was I wanted to have a collection, and then I wanted to click on that collection and open up all the collections in that collection. I spent a week or two on that, and I initially had somebody who was going to show me how to do that, and then I did everything she told me to do, and then when I went back to her for how to hook it all up, she disappeared. She had disappeared, and I got the guys. And they basically blew me off for a while, and then finally said, you know, it can't be done. Well, I don't buy that, and here's why. One of the things I did to try and figure out how to build a Shopify store is I did searches for different kind of things, and when the link comes up and it says Shopify in it, I know it's a Shopify store. So I would look at all those links, not just for the things I was creating a store for, but for anything that was a Shopify store. How did they build their store? What does it look like? What do I like about it? What can I emulate? And I got on a mailing list for one lady. So that's another thing we can do, is we can get them on our mailing list and hit them up all the time. I get an email from her every single day about a jewelry collection. And if you click on her link, it opens up to a Shopify store. And the categories are 2 by 2, or 2 down, like where I have 3. And it's all jewelry. It's all different levels or grades or kinds of jewelry. Cheap stuff and very expensive stuff. And when you click on any of her, like you click on watches, here's the category for watches collection. You click on it, and what opens up? More collections, just like I wanted to do. So it might be cheap watches, it might be electronic watches, but you can still click on those buttons to get to where you want to go. So we know it's possible. I have somebody that I can see did it. So I'm not that great at it yet, but I'm okay. I built a store. It's not bad. Could be a lot better. Hopefully it will get a lot better. That's what I want to do. I want to do something creative because what I realized, all the way back to Project Breakthrough, it didn't seem like fun, because it was hammering all about the money. It has to be about the money because I have to make the money. I didn't go back to work when my job ended. And I really did put all my hopes and dreams into Project Breakthrough. So that it didn't work was at the time devastating.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, when I look back, I really enjoyed creating those pages. It was a lot of fun. If I take away the part that I have to make a living at this or I'm going to die, then the actual act of creating the ads was fun. So that's what I've learned over the last year. I do have a creative part in me, and that's part of what I want to do. So underneath those three things, figure out how to grow my business, because I really am at the end of the line on going back to work. Get my health straightened out, and figure out what I can do on a daily basis that has to do with creativity, because that's what makes me happy. From those three things, then I have short list. Like for the health, I have to exercise at least 30 minutes a day. If I go to the Y on Monday and Wednesday, it's 2 hours a day. But I can't do 2 hours out of the water. I'm not strong enough for that. But I can do yoga. I can do Qigong. I can't get on my glider for very long because my hips hurt. I can't get on my total gym very much because I don't have the stamina to keep it up. But I can do yoga and I can do Qigong. So, those are the things underneath health. In addition to that would be eat properly every day, eat a balanced diet, I think is what I have written down.
Mm-hmm.
And all of this, my dear friend Renee.
Yes.
I got here today. Actually, I've been here for a few days now, because of the stuff you posted.
Oh, good.
I took that stuff and I started playing with it, and one thing led to another. And I didn't really write goals this year because I write pretty much the same goals every year, and I never get them done. So, but that got me to go back and look at the goals and what the goals should be. And everything I've accomplished here since last Friday is directly related to the 3 documents you posted.
Oh,
so thank you very much.
Gave me goosebumps. And you're gonna, if you haven't looked at the weekly and the monthly review sheets,
I have them up over here.
You'll definitely enjoy those. Because one of them has the weekly accomplishment register related to your goal set and the related task. And so I did this on the pages, but that particular section, you could do an Excel spreadsheet and make it look all pretty, because I just didn't have the time to go into my numbers and set that all up and stuff.
I would like to ask you a few questions about those 2 documents, but right now I'm going to mute you because my doorbell's ringing.
Okay. Well,
we have car issues going on here today, so maybe it's a tow truck.
We're going to listen to what Sharon has to say, and then I have a slide share that a set of slides that I'd like to share with y'all that might help.
Okay.
Sharon, what's up?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No.
You're not quite recovered yet from your trip?
Yeah. Well, we got home Wednesday night. Whole last week since I saw you guys, everybody's been sick, and I have to take Jim to the doctor, so I have to leave in about 30 minutes or so.
Oh,
so,
sorry to hear that.
But yeah, I have not accomplished anything. I haven't done anything. I've watched some videos and that kind of stuff. Looked at your stuff. Wasn't able to do any of that. Because like I said, our whole house, 6 of us, have been ill. My daughter especially. And it's all allergies. Back in Texas, in where they live, they have a lot of cedar trees. And evidently, we're all really highly allergic to them. And my husband just kept getting sicker and sicker and sicker. and he was having a hard time breathing. So anyway, we're home and we're breathing better and doing better, but no energy whatsoever.
Well, I hope y'all get to feeling better really soon.
We will. We will. It's not a problem. And, you know, my plan this week is to just, you know, pound it and start making something happen. And all this stuff that you're talking about is, a lot of this is in that course that JJ and I did.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very familiar with it. And I know from personal experience, if you do it on a daily basis, it really makes a difference. But when you stop doing it on a daily basis and keeping track of stuff, then, you know, things kind of fall to the wayside. So my goal for this month is to absolutely make something happen. I'm on a 3-month deadline to make or break my business, and you know, I'm doing everything. I will be doing everything that I can to make things happen. So that's pretty much where I'm at.
Well, I'm sorry that y'all been so sick, and I'm glad that you are starting to get on the mend, and that Jim will get the help that he needs to get him all better.
He's
And
doing better.
And it's good that you have given yourself a deadline to make or break it. You know, because that should make a big difference. I've going through this book that, you know, I've created some of the pages and some of the slides are some of the things that have impacted me quite a bit. And I've set goals, you know, but I haven't necessarily met most of them. I've met some, but ideally I want to meet most of them. And I think for me, the part that impacted me the most was when he was talking about your self-worth, you know, and what your set point is, and the process of raising your set point in your mind so that you feel worthy of achieving those goals and enjoying reaping the rewards of them, you know. And you hear all this stuff in bits and pieces, you know, over the years, you know, and you hear it said in various ways. But until your mind is open and ready to receive that information, or until it's said in a certain way, it doesn't necessarily register, you know.
It's really, when you're ready to receive the information, you will receive it in a way that you can take it in.
Yeah. And I've received a lot of information before, but it didn't all fall into place until now. And I feel more motivated. You know, I'm always motivated, but I feel a little bit more, I guess, power within me that is motivated and committed. When Vic, I think it was last week, when Vic was talking about the difference between committed and interested, you know, that had a big impact because it was in relation to what I was reading and going through the guidelines in that 2-inch book, that it all started to fall into place for me. It's like, okay, I have my wish list. Yeah, that's nice. And my goal list, but unless that goal is a commitment, it's not going to happen.
Right.
And I was like, wow. They kind of all fell together.
It's a big difference, that's for sure.
That it is. I'd like to go ahead and go through the part 2 of the slideshow real quick.
Okay.
And
before we
yes.
Before we start that, are you going to have more of this to continue next week? where you want to host again next week, or do you want me to host?
It's
I'm going to have to leave.
it's up to you. It's up to you.
Well, you have more of this. I think it's good stuff. So
I don't know how much more I'll have for next week. So why don't we talk about it early next week? How about that?
okay, thank you.
Okay, that sounds good. And I would like to challenge everybody here to go ahead and, you know, over the weekend, write down, if you haven't done it already, write down 5 things that you need to do every day that's going to get you to hit your goal. You know, whether it be the monthly goal or your ultimate goal. Because a lot of times, I don't know about y'all, but I get distracted and I go off on little tangents, and then I don't accomplish at least 5 of those things that you really need to do in order to further your business. You know, so if you have it in writing, I really feel like it, and commit to it, it will make a huge difference in your progress. So that's my challenge to you this week. Anything else before I start the slide share? Because I know, Sharon, you said you have to go soon.
Yeah. No, that was it. I just
Okay.
wanted to see if, but we'll talk and see who wants to do it.
Okay, we'll touch base early next week, and I'll see about this weekend if there's anything else to add. I think I mostly have it all. It's more a matter of us going through it individually. You know, the information that I've shared with y'all last week and this week, and putting together your game plan with what coincides, what your core values are, what it is that you ultimately want to achieve, and make sure that it's in alignment with who you are. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my screen to the slides. I have not, these are, once again, it's a rough draft. I've just kind of thrown these together because I was going through, and I didn't finish this until 9:30 last night. So I just did it real simple. One day I'm going to go back and you are screen sharing. Okay. So you probably, that's the last slide. It was crazy. My computer is a little slow. I guess I should have rebooted before I started this. Okay, so we're continuing our New Year goals and more. So this, he wanted to make us aware that as you design the life you want, you may become fixated on the life you don't have, things that you haven't accomplished, and that kind of stuff. You know, which very well can be, because you want to get so much done, and then you think, oh my gosh, you know, I set these intentions last year, but I didn't get there, you know. But what you need to do is focus on now. So you get centered and remember what abundance, talents, and skills you already have, and appreciate that first. So when Catherine was talking about, you know, how she sets the same goals every year and never meets them, and then this year she's come to a realization that she really, really enjoys being more on the creative side and creating like the Shopify stores and creating some ClickFunnels stuff, and that it gives her great joy, and that she could do that all the time, you know, and get make an income that way. This is what the process is. You know, all these questions that that are presented to you through the PDFs and things for you to consider. A lot of that's part of the gratitude side of it, that you need to appreciate what you do have. And then here's a 10-point checklist of when you're making your goals, because we have our preliminary goals set up, but not everybody has written things down. So you want to write down your goals. You want to suspend your reality and brainstorm the possibilities. And you want to go big. And as Vic always says, it only takes one big idea to make you a millionaire. So exploring all the possibilities could possibly give you something to think about that you hadn't thought about before. So keep that in mind as you're going through the exercises. And I would go through the exercises at least once a month once you have things set, because you might suddenly have gained some new skills or learned some new lessons that you really want to apply because you decide that it really hits your heart and that it's a message that you want to take out to the world, or a business that you really feel is exciting. And you always want to speak positive, and you want to use I am, I have, when you're talking about yourself. You know, I am creative. I am helpful. I have an abundance of skills that I've learned this last year, because I know Sharon's learned a ton of things. And you'll want to speak in the first person when you're writing down your goals. I am, I want, I have, so forth and so on. You want to make sure you write your goals down, not other people's goals. You know, because I don't know about y'all, you know, but initially when I was starting to write down goals, a lot of it had to do with what other people were saying, what their lofty goals are. But they, you know, it wasn't necessarily in alignment with who I am and what my core values are. So you want to keep that in mind. You want to make sure that your goals align with your values. You fight for your goals if you need to, because a lot of times we come across issues, problems that give us challenge. A problem is one of those words you're supposed to avoid. I forgot. But challenges that you have to work on overcoming. So fight for your goals if that's what you need to do. Abandon your limiting beliefs and release your fear. You know, you don't want to be afraid of stepping outside of your comfort zone, because you want to use that energy that the fear generates. Instead of using it to stop you or to paralyze you, you want to use that energy of that fear to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. And then definition of a specific goal, you know, because we're all, you know, everybody says to write goals, but a lot of times our goals are not specific enough. And so it's considered a well-defined and clear to anyone else. You know, like if you wrote your goal down and somebody else read that goal, would they know exactly what it is that you want to accomplish? So example he gave was shred the credit cards and pay off $27,000 in bills and $33,000 in student loans. That's a specific goal, you know, not just like I want to make $100,000. Well, you need to be more specific. And then he says you need to be able to specifically measure results as set by your specific goals. So you have your goals set. What kind of mini goals do you have in order to get there? whether it be a deadline. If by January 31st you want to have achieved $10,000 in income, or you want to have achieved your ideal Shopify store, or your ideal landing pages, and to be able to have a 40% opt-in rate, a 60% opt-in rate. Those are all, things to consider. And then while setting your specific and lofty goals, you want to make sure that they are somewhat attainable, because we go big, like I'm looking for $30,000 a month because I really need the $30,000 a month here. But, and I have attained it before, so I know it's attainable. But what if I was setting my goal, I want to hit $100,000 a month by March 31st, and the last year I haven't hit even my initial $30,000 a month average income. It might be a little difficult to attain. It's possible, but it might be better for me to set my lofty goals to be a little bit closer to what I know I have achieved in the past, 30,000. And then if I want to go bigger, then start working on raising my goals as I start achieving my mini goals. Does that make sense? And then I mentioned this earlier, but make sure your goals are relevant, in alignment with your core values, who you are, and what's most important in your life. That's really huge, because a lot of times we set goals because other people are talking about it, and that sounds so exciting, so we want that. The big question is it what we really want? So you definitely have to kind of meditate on it and think about it, and see what feels light and bright in your heart, and go from there. And then, of course, set deadlines to solidify the challenges of achieving your goals. So that's where the mini goals come in. And then this is when I was talking about our self-worth is a set point that we ourselves have set. Our level of success is based on our self-worth. When we raise it, our self-esteem, our mindset, our attitude, our philosophy, our character, and everything else will start to rise. And this was a really good quote that he had added from, I said Jim John. It's supposed to be Jim Rohn. If you want to have more, you have to become more. Success is not a doing process. It is a becoming process. What you do, what you pursue, will elude you. It can be like chasing, boy, I have some misspells in here. I have to change this. It can be like chasing butterflies. Success is becoming something you attract by the person you become. And then one other quote was from Les Brown. To achieve something you have never achieved before, you must become someone you've never been. And those couple of quotes really kind of impacted me, because I know that we've all grown a lot this last year. But we have a lot more growing to do, because we want to be what our voice is telling us to be. Our heart, what our heart is telling us to do and be. We have to make sure that we grow to be able to meet what the message is. And so there's still a little ways to go. So when you're setting your goals, you know how Catherine was talking about setting her goals for her business and for her health. These are the other sections, and it has, and there was you know, that will that Vic has been talking about the last couple of weeks, you know, where it could be pretty bumpy, you know, and where you may be an 8 in business, a 6 in financial, maybe a 2 in health, and so it's a very lopsided wheel. So these are the goals that you have to consider. And so you want to set goals in each of these sections of what it is that you want out of it. You know, business, financial, physical health, mental, family, spiritual, lifestyle, and relationships. I'm going to put together, I just didn't have time, and it's a lot of questions. There, for each of these sections, there are questions that are in the book that you want to evaluate where you are with each question. And that'll help give you a better picture of your overall blueprint. And it might even help you narrow down your focus even more, so that you can get out of it exactly what it is that you want for this year. And I will work on that within the next few days on putting together the PDF. I'm just going to list all the questions, you know, for each section, and then it's up to you to go through it. And so out of all this on this slide, you know, you have various goals that you want to achieve for each one. And out of those, out of each of these sections, you want to list your top 10 goals and set deadlines if available. You know, so he has the top 10 goals, and then out of the top 10 goals, you want the most important 3 goals out of those. They're the most important and the most valuable priorities in your personal life of what you want to accomplish. And, you know, because you have your 10 goals and they're all great, but you need to narrow your focus to the uppermost 3, because it'll make a big difference on what your priorities and what you do on a daily task basis. So then he goes into, for each goal, each top list goal, I didn't write this right, but for the top 3 goals, which is what he calls the banner goals, you want to describe who you need to become, new habits or behaviors you need to start, existing habits, disciplines, behaviors that you need to expand on, and then poor habits and behaviors that you have to stop related to each of these top 3 goals. And then you need to figure out how to implement them into your daily routine. And the end. But it's a lot of stuff to consider. But fortunately, since this is a hangout and it's recorded, you can rewatch it often, and maybe, I don't know if I'm going to have time to really dive deep into this slide share, but if I do and revamp it a little bit, I'll be happy to share it with you as a file. And the end. So what are y'all's thoughts on that? I know a lot of it has, you know, we've kind of covered before, but I wanted to put it together in a slideshow because sometimes things go in one ear and out the other, and then in between you think, oh yeah, okay, that sounds great, but then you kind of wonder, okay, what next? You know, what do I really want to do next? And then you forget. So that's why I put that together. Any thoughts?
I think that we are, a lot of us are not realizing how much we've actually accomplished this year. It may be different than what we planned on,
Yes.
but changes that are happening globally are causing illnesses that people are experiencing right now. And they're actually a breaking up of the old past and helping us go on to new. I think 2017 is going to be a very awesome year. And so the basic thing is that, see, Vernon Howard in his book, Mystic Path to Cosmic Power, that I got from Bob Proctor, he talks about these pools of energy. And you exhaust yourself when you work from one pool of energy too long. And that you need to balance that out more. And if you don't balance it out, then you become totally exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
When you remember to have a bit of fun here, work on your Shopify or whatever one you're working on, getting some exercise, the whole thing. Vic is really going into this. That's where he got the wheel and he put how much energy he's putting into different parts of his life. Mainly came from Vernon Howard's book, and that's what we get too exhausted if we keep working on the same thing all the time and not
True.
work the other pools of energy. So the other thing I was noticing is that we need to know what works best for us.
Mm-hmm.
It was Walt Disney who nearly lost his business because he was such a creative person. He couldn't handle the financial, and until his brother came in and handled the financial, then he became a worldwide success. Mick just said that he well, we know he's a very creative person, but does he do the financial? Heck no. His wife does that. He's made it quite clear that
Mm-hmm.
this is not where his energy lies. So often, I don't think that most people are really good in the creative, analytical.
It's hard
Because
to be good at both. I've known that.
mhm. So sometimes it's best to find out which things that you excel at, and then help with the other things that you aren't doing too well.
Mm-hmm.
And this can make a big difference. I can't remember the name of the book now, but it was a salesman who showed how to find out, the person you're talking to, what type of person they are, what they relate to. And then you know how to make them more receptive by understanding where they're at. The fellow he wasn't too happy with me because he said I'm the type of person he had the hardest thing to understand because I'm the amiable, friendly type. And he was more the hard-driven business person. But he didn't realize is, yes, I'm this friendly, amiable type. If I want it, I'll set fire. I can be just as driven to get something finished as the other person. But if we understand what the other people are, we will be able to deal with ourselves. But it's very important to find out which thing you do well at and work on that and get help with the other. Bob Proctor was very big on pushing on that, of finding out which worked for you.
Mm-hmm.
Past, he didn't put the action in. And having worked with him in Toronto quite some time ago, I found that people were writing the goals on the calendar and they said they're done. Working with Bob Proctor. So now he's gotten a lot more into the action. I mean, very gifted. I didn't realize till I got into here how much he has influenced me in my thought processes from the years in the past. But I'm really happy with that. Um, yeah, your goals should be really flexible. like things are coming in here that are leading us. We're heading in one direction, and we're determined this is where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
The universe is pushing us, taking us into a different direction.
True.
And then we think we're not accomplishing anything. But actually, we're accomplishing a lot. We just don't realize, what's happening there. It makes you feel depressed or something like that. Or, oh, I didn't get much done. Yes, I too, like others, I was so dizzy I couldn't do anything the last few weeks. I got the small things accomplished. And that was the other thing in this last little while is I had so many small things to deal with. Spending most of my time on the small things. And the more of those I'm getting done, the lighter I'm feeling. So now I'm starting to make more definite goals as far as my recipe book and things like that, to get into the more meat of it. It just doesn't pay to, you can't say 3 months from now this is going to happen, because the universe may say, no, we got a few more things to learn yet.
Yeah, that's possible. I think
Yeah.
that's what the monthly review PDF that I uploaded kind of sort of wants you to take into consideration, because you have the weekly review that is more, short term and stuff like
Right.
that. And then the monthly review talks about those prior 4 weeks and what your goal was for those 4 weeks, whether you achieved it, what kind of numbers did you do, how many times a week did you do it, so forth and so on. And then discover the behaviors and actions you were most consistent with, and then what kind of positive difference it had on your results. And then there's a section for behavior and actions most inconsistent with, and what kind of negative consequences it had on the results. Or maybe when you realize, okay, you weren't so consistent with this, with whatever the goals, that you didn't do, that may be a time to reconsider, does that fit into your overall plan, that you want? And then fixes to install to ensure it doesn't happen next month. Or maybe I should add in there fixes to modify my goals for next month to make sure that I can achieve what it is that I want, or it's a reevaluation of your goals. And so I think that it really helps. There's probably just a couple of things that I need to add on PDFs into the group. Hopefully I'll get those in the next thing, because there's the weekly, there's the monthly, and then they have the quarterly evaluation, and it's all designed to help keep you focused on what it is that you want. Just like for what Lucinda was saying, was reevaluating yourself and your objective, and then life happens. So as those life happens, you need to evaluate, are you still committed to that exact goal that you made, or if you need to reevaluate it and reset the goals. Yeah, Mike is kind of off and on. Sometimes his sound is okay, and the other half is not, so it can't understand him. Oh, I just realized I don't have the chat box, so I don't know what's going on. Okay.
It's on mine.
Okay. So anybody else have something to share with this, or how are we doing?
Well, actually, I have a question
just
about
wanted-
the monthly review.
I'm sorry, what?
Pardon? The monthly review that you put in.
Uh-huh.
I'm just going to click over to give you the wording that I'm not too sure about.
Okay.
So
I
the
might
first-
have been going crazy when I typed it up because I was tired.
Yeah. It says all number for all behaviors action on weekly accomplishment register.
Okay, on the weekly register, on the second page, there is an accomplishment register that's related to the goals that you set, like your top 10 goals, and then your banner goals. So this is where you want to kind of like list it on the behavior or action step that you want to work on for the week. And then there's little columns for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday through Sunday, and then you can enter in the number of times that you completed that goal or task. You know, whether it be health related, you exercise Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, or maybe you exercise every day, whether it's just like a walk or whatever it is. So you want to check mark or place an X in each of the columns, and then just tally up how many times in that week that you completed it. And then on the goal, what was the goal that you had set for yourself for that? Say for the exercise is just an easy one that comes to my mind. Say you exercise, you had a goal, say you had a goal of 5 days, and you wind up doing exercise 3 times that week. So you complete it 3 times, the completed column 3 times, and your goal was 5 times. So your net, you didn't achieve it twice, out of your goals. It's just kind of like a tally for you and to help keep you accountable for what goals you set for yourself. If you want, say one of your goals would be write a recipe, add a recipe to your book, and you want to have that goal once or twice a week or 3 times a week, whatever it is, whatever your goal is, you're to help get you towards your end goal. Write down that your goal was 3 times a week, and say you only did it once. So you completed it 1 time, whatever day of the week it was. And so this is like just a little chart for you to hold yourself accountable, decide exactly what it is that you want to accomplish that week. And it's a personal evaluation for you. And then at the end of the month, then you look at that monthly chart and you say, okay, well, I had set a goal to do it so many times during the month, and then what I actually did was this. And then you look at your 4 weeks of goals and what you actually did versus what you had planned. And then you discover, okay, I was most consistent with my exercise. Yay! I'm getting healthier. Yay! So you were consistent with that, and the positive difference was you're getting healthier. And then say maybe your goal for the month was to advertise, find free advertisement and get the word out about your business, your product, whatever it is. So you had set the intention to do it something every day, 5 days a week. So that would be like 20 days, say 21 days, whatever it is. And so you want to achieving that. So that's a positive difference. That's an action that you were consistent with. Or maybe you weren't consistent with it, and instead of 20 days, you only did 10 times. So then that's like a negative consequence or a behavior that was inconsistent with. I want to change the negative consequence because I just don't like that word. But I'll have to come up with a different word. But, since you only did it 10 out of 20 days for what your goal was set, then the negative consequence would be, oh geez, I didn't get my business out there as much as I should have, and so the consequence is I didn't get as much business as I could have. And then you need to come up with a fix to do in order to overcome why you didn't do it. Do you need to remodify your goal, to have it a little bit less, or do you need to just make sure it's one of the first things that you do in the day, in order to make sure it's accomplished, because you know that that's going to help you. Does that make sense?
As long as that people aren't too hard on themselves and beating themselves up for not doing what they set down to do. That's one thing that I can see a bit of discouragement with some of the people here.
Well, the thing is, the first focus is on the positive impact and what you did do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then there's the negative, I got to change that negative. I got to come up with a better word. But then there's the thing that you didn't do. So that's when you want to say, okay, is it really in alignment with what I want to accomplish? Why didn't I do it? And if it is still in alignment with what I really want to get accomplished, how can I make this happen more often, because I know it's good for me? So then,
yeah, in other words, you're reevaluating the fact that you didn't get that done, or a lot less. You're reevaluating, is that something you really want? Should you be better off doing it less often? Make sure that people don't beat themselves up.
right. And then, and then if it's something that is still in alignment, then maybe you just had it lower on your list of things to do daily, and you need to raise it up to maybe the first thing or second to be able to make sure it's done. And then, and then it talks about the wins, the losses, fixes that you did do, that had a good impact. Any aha moments? Maybe when you're going through this, you realize this wasn't really a priority in my goal, and now I realize what I need to do. That's an aha moment.
Right.
And then it ends with your most great, things that you're still grateful for, your gratitude, and then the 3 greatest lessons learned from the month. So each month is an evaluation period of that you can tweak so that you can further improve who you are, get more clear on who you are and what it is that you want to accomplish. Right?
Right.
So it's not a matter of beating yourself up. It's a personal evaluation on trying to help you get more clear.
Excellent.
And then there's a quarterly. I glanced at it, but I haven't put it together yet, so I don't remember what the questions were. So this is all designed on helping you to have the best year you've had. Michael, you have something to say?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Is this okay?
Yes, you're good.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you for the reminder that now is a good time to focus some attention on goal setting. And, I'm a notorious procrastinator. I put stuff off. And I do a lot of the stuff that, basically works against a person wanting some success, and
So what I did a couple of years ago is I went through the Tony Robbins workshop on personal power. He had a series years ago called Personal Power. You know, it's really popular. But he has a goal setting workshop on that series. And so I went through that, and I got to tell you right now, I achieved like a third of my goals in that before I started to slip back into the old me. And I really made a lot of strides. I made a bunch of progress, and things worked out really, really good. In fact, let me show you. Let me show you. I still carry it. This is my pad I carry all the time, and I write my ideas in this. Well, in this, the most prominent thing in this pad is my goal setting, the goals that I set about 5 years ago, or 4 years ago, using that series, which was the Tony Robbins goal setting workshop. And I got to tell you, let me show you. I'll just show you. This is where I go when I'm feeling melancholy and I'm feeling like I haven't really achieved a lot and I haven't done what I'm supposed to do. And the way that his goal setting workshop is laid out is really, really unique, and it really worked for me, and it helped me to really do some of the stuff, you know. And one of the unique things that he did on his workshop is, I know you probably cannot see these small words, but what he did was he has it broken down into the goals and the amount of time you want to accomplish the goal. Like the first month, these are my 3 month goals, and then I put there the amount of time down the left column of, you know, when I actually want to achieve the goal. And these goals start at one day,
Hmm.
and these goals start 1 day. These are all my 7 days, 90 days, 30 days, and all of that. And these things are really broken down really well. And the way that it is structured, it really helps you to achieve a lot of the goals because it gives a schedule basically and a time frame for you to do things realistically and make them really happen. And I know that a lot of goal setting workshops don't really break it down like that. But I
Yeah.
got to tell you, what you just read off to me, what you just showed me, was this right here in just another form. So I really like what you just showed us, and this is the perfect time for that. And it just reminds me that, hey, you know, it's been at least 4 months since I really stopped and read these goals. And so what you just helped me to realize that is that I've achieved a lot of these. Maybe it's time for me to reevaluate this and redo it using what you've just shown us. And I think that this is the perfect time to do it. I mean, we're not even 10 days into this year. And you know what? I've been procrastinating on setting my goals. So now it may be the perfect time. And I just want to thank you for at least reminding me that I've been procrastinating on not procrastinating. Can you dig what I said? Can you dig that?
I can dig that.
So, 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 you know, there are so many things in the business that we're in this online space that we can do that, and these things don't really cost a lot of money that we could do and set goals and do that can actually get us further. And that can come from just watching some videos and educating ourselves on some things. That can come from having a discussion with people who are good at doing something that we aren't good at doing,
Mhm.
you know, that are right in our environment, people who are right close to us. That could come from just asking a question on one of the hangouts that we do with Vic. I mean, there are so many applicable, actionable things that we can do that can actually propel us and get us further with just communicating and understanding better about what it is that we're doing. And I know that I don't know about you guys, but educating ourselves, getting educated, and really figuring out how to do this stuff is what I'm here for.
Mhm.
That's what I'm here for. And I've got one big goal in mind, and that is to run my own business and have a following. and have the education necessary for me to, well, for example, for me to have an example to follow when it comes to having my own business where I have to have something interesting to say and educate people in order for them to move further, for them to be helped by my system on a daily, weekly, monthly basis that can help them to improve their lives. For
Mm-hmm.
me to contribute and give value far beyond what anyone in my following would be expecting. The same way that Vic does. You know, I'm just using him as the example
Yeah.
because my focus is to learn from him, and my focus is to take what I'm learning and apply it the way that he's doing it, and to one day have, you know, achieve my goal of being at the level that he's at in helping a massive amount of people to do something great.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm trying to get to, and I believe that I'm on the right track. I know that I'm not the most persistent person, and I have not been as good as I need to be on doing this stuff right here. So that's why I have enormous amounts of gratitude for you in reminding me that, hey man, this is where you need to be. You need to be getting back at these goals on these goals and revising them, and then implementing these things. Even if you get back to the thing that focused on just doing that daily task that gets you further in life, and it helps you on a daily basis to build that weekly goal, that monthly goal, and that yearly goal to get where you want to get to. So
Yeah.
thanks a lot for that, Renee. I really strongly appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you. I really felt such a strong drive to share this material with y'all because um, I feel it as well. You know that okay, we accomplished a lot last year, but we didn't hit our ultimate goal, you know, of what we wanted last year. And I want everybody to be able to um, have the opportunity to hit the goals that they want to achieve this year in the way that is right for them. And I wanted to present this material to y'all. It's probably not, it's not broken down as well as I would like, but it's a start, you know. And I could have spent more time this last week putting it together and making it a little bit smoother and better and stuff. But um, I just, well, I dropped the ball most of the days. And so I'm like, okay, yesterday I'm like, I have to get this done, you know, and I've been glancing at it and I've started even answering my own questions on some of this, like the gratitude um, and reviewing my commitment. But I haven't done my year in review. So I have to do that this weekend because I have an accountability partner that she had asked me to be her personal accountability partner. So we've set up a system that we by this weekend we have to have presented, you know, something or another in there, and and we've decided to just keep it between the two of us for right now until we know that we have a system that we feel comfortable with, that we feel like is doable. And then we would like to invite other people into it that we feel are committed, you know, because um, going through this process is definitely a commitment. And it's not a commitment to other people, it's a commitment to you because you are the most valuable person in your life. Only you can accomplish what it is that you want. Other people can help you, other people can guide you, but you're the only person who can do this. And for me, I yesterday, I think it was the night before last, I realized, okay, I had written a vision, a commitment goal for myself, I realized I didn't put in a monetary amount. So now I have to go back and look at what I wrote down, because ultimately I want to be able to help other people find their voice so that they can accomplish what it is that they want. I want them to know that they are important, that what their message is important for somebody to hear, that there are people out there who are ready and willing and waiting to hear what message you have to say. And I want to be able to let them know that no matter what happened in their past, that they can accomplish what their inner voice is telling them to do. You know, and for me, that's extremely important. But I forgot to, I have it written out a little bit more smoother, but I forgot to write down a monetary reward, because like in Think and Grow Rich, you know, he says, okay, well, you have your mission statement, or what it is that your vision, your goal is, you know, and what it is that you want, you know, and what is it that you're going to do for the money, you know. So you write down how much money you want, and then what are you going to do for it? Well, I forgot to write down how much money I want. So I'm like, well, maybe that's why I haven't seen that money. So, but it is falling into place for me, and I think this just helps me be more accountable to myself, and I'm hoping that it'll help you become more accountable to yourself. And I feel like if you want to share anything, you know, like your mission statement, your goals, I feel like if you want to share your goals, this group will be a safe group in order to do that, and to help give you encouragement. You know, like if you say, oh, I had this goal this last week to do this so much, but I didn't do it, and you want to share that, it's possible that somebody in the group can have something to offer you to give you more insight, or to help encourage you to make next week a better week for it.
I
So,
agree.
so for me, that's the intent. I don't know what the intent is for everybody else. I know most people don't even participate in here, but I just want to let you know, whatever you have to say, you can say to me privately if you want, you know, and it'll be safe.
Absolutely. That's good. I appreciate it.
Well,
Very cool.
we have a lot to do, but fortunately we can break it down into little chunks, and figure out what's the most important, because you have, as Vic says, you have to prioritize some of the higher income producing activities in order to help get you where you want to be. So it's different for everybody, you know, but I think taking the time to go through the process so that you can get clear on your goals, get clear on what it is that you know within you that you need to do and accomplish, that's an income producing activity, because it's
Absolutely.
going to help you in the long run.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Renee.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. I pulled over just so you could hear me good. I was driving. I guess it might be having this sound issue that I'm having might be having something to do with my engine or something. I don't know. I just figured it.
Well,
Figured trying to
or
do
you
it.
could be hopping from tower to tower, and that could interfere possibly. I don't know, or a combination of
Yeah.
the two.
Yeah. I've been driving through snow since last night. Snow showers and stuff. And so I'm really anxious to get to where I'm going to. But I know I'm going to Atlanta, and there it's really supposed to be bad today.
Is it?
So yeah, like 6 inches or something like that. Snow and ice tonight. It'll be bad, but I'm just gonna go as far as I can.
Yeah.
That's why I've been anxious and trying to keep moving. I still have like 400 miles to go.
Oof. It's a lot of
Something
driving.
like
I don't envy
that.
you.
Yeah, it's not bad. It sounds bad, but it's not so bad.
Yeah,
It's
I
only
don't like driving in snow. I've driven in snow up to Tahoe before and back, and there was whiteout conditions going down the hill, and it's like it takes you 3 hours to cover what would normally take 5 minutes.
Tahoe is crazy. I love that place.
It's nice. I like it a lot.
It
On a
is.
clear day, it's really nice.
It is. Yeah,
Beautiful
I
place.
love it. It is. It's real wilderness there. You know,
Some.
I'll tell you. Yeah, yeah, I really like it too. That's it
Yeah.
for me, That's it for me. Where did Sharon go?
She had to take her husband to the doctor.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right then.
All right. And then Lucinda, you have anything else you want to add?
Mike, you said, I don't know if I got it down exactly the way you said it. It says, I haven't accomplished what I was meant to do as part of the goals and everything. And my question to that is, how do you know those were the things you were meant to do?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
it's what you had set for yourself to do, and then when you're going through it and saying I haven't accomplished what I set out to do, maybe that's a time to evaluate, was that really what you were meant to do, or what needed to be done? And if the answer is still yes, because when you ask yourself if it's a yes, it's kind of higher. The energy, the answer is higher in your chest and closer, further up. Then the question remains: okay, do you need to tweak how you do it, or when you do it, and ask yourself these questions. And then if the answer was no anywhere along the line, then you need to reconsider that activity.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I'm very much an energy person, as to whether things feel right or not. But if I've only really started to realize how important that is, because half the time I ignored it. And now I'm realizing I really need to pay attention to what my body is telling me as to what is the right answer or not. Because in one of the slides, it was saying, when you're doing your goal is, sorry, when you're doing your goal setting and stuff, it said, ask yourself, is this goal for you and what your intentions are, what your vision is? Is it aligned with who you are and not somebody else's? Because a lot of times we hear all these voices coming at us, and we actually ignore like 99% of them, and our mind will only take in a certain amount. And if we're not focused on what it is that we want, what we want to accomplish, what our goals are, so forth and so on, if we're not zoned in and focused, then we're going to be listening to other people's junk, other people's opinions, and let it affect what our decision is. But is that what we really want? So you always want to ask yourself, is this what I really want? And then, how we're talking about Vic and the 4% and everything. And for you, Lucinda, you have your recipe book. You've decided that's the most important thing to you. And for Mike, he has his business thoughts of what he wants to accomplish. And then Catherine, she's decided, she wants to be more in the creative side. And that's what she wants. And so each of us are filtering our goals to be more in alignment with what it is that we ultimately decided we want. And like for me, I mean, I really love 4%. And I'm so excited that Vic is going to be adding some sort of mindset in that aspect to the business, because that's what I want. And it's so weird because he announced that like a couple of days before I decided that's what I really, really want. So it's all a matter of preference and what feels right to us as a person and not as a group. Catherine, your thoughts?
I don't know that I have additional thoughts on that. I have enjoyed listening to the conversation. Okay, I do have a thought. When you went down the list of what Lucinda, Mike, and me, and you were headed toward, what we had decided was a goal for us, I really wasn't going to say this out loud, but so from my perspective, I don't know that I got there without this group. So I was just curious when you said that. I wonder if everybody thinks the same thing, or they would have ultimately gone there on their own. I don't know that I would have.
I don't know. That's a good question. It might have taken, I think you probably would have, but it might have taken you longer.
Right.
I am going to go back when the thing posts, because after, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 slides, many slides have gone by, but there was 4, 5, 6, however many. I thought, you know what? I need to be screenshotting some of this stuff. I really like it. I got 2, and that was it. So I'm going to go back and watch that over so I can get a couple of those quotes that I wanted. But as soon as that part's over, I could quit having to do the review if you would be so kind as to answer a question you've already answered, but I forgot the answer.
What?
What does register mean in your monthly review?
The register? Okay,
Yeah.
on the monthly the monthly review, the register is referring to the weekly review, page 2, that little chart that I should have done in Excel, but I just did it in my Keynote or Pages. Where the register is related to the goals that you set for yourself for the week, of things that that's related to your I'm drawing a blank now. It's on the slide, but when you're going through like your personal relationships, your health, your financial, your business, your spirituality, I forget what the other ones are, and where you're going through those and you're listing some of the goals that you want to accomplish for each of those sections. And then out of those thoughts that you've written down for all the I think it was slide 10 or 11 or something or another, when you're setting your personal goals for each of the sections of what it is that you want to have, it could be accomplished, it could be just have in your life or improve in your life, or like your health. I need to lose weight too, and eat healthier and cut back on certain things and increase. Actually, I eat a good amount of vegetables usually, but it cut back on a lot of things, so those are personal goals. And so you set those, and then out of those, you have your top 10 that you want to accomplish. And out of those top 10, let's see, where is it? Oh, maybe I might have another one. Oh goodness, where is it? Okay, these are the things that you want to consider what your goals are. Is related to business, your financial, your physical, your mental, your family, spiritual, your lifestyle, and your relationships. You know, because you want to have all those areas included in your consideration, because he wants you to be more balanced. You know, so if you're setting goals in all of these to help you be more balanced and happier and more of where you want to be, and then out of those, prioritize, and decide which out of all those sections, you know, and things that you've broken down in each section, decide which are the top 10 goals that you really feel a strong desire to accomplish. And then out of those top 10, there are at least 3 that are the most important thing for you at this very moment in time. Okay, and you can modify that anytime during the year that you want. You know, when you feel like you need to reprioritize, no big deal. You know, but you want to come up with your top 3, as he calls them banner goals, because they're like the ultimate things that you feel is going to help you improve all the rest of the areas of your life. And then then out of, oh, I don't know if I did this or not. Maybe I didn't. And then out of those top 3 goals, then you want to break them down even more. You know, whether they are related to a new habit, a new behavior, or a new discipline, or an expansion on any of those things. Okay, and then how can you implement the habit, the behavior, or the discipline into your daily routine? Because if you don't do it daily, it's easy to slide.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then well, maybe I'll do a spreadsheet on this, because I don't think I did.
No, you
And
didn't.
maybe that'll help. You know, because you want to get more clear on your individual goals, you know, your top goals. And you do it for the top 3. But if you feel like you really need to add a few more, you know, diving deep, that's okay. But at some point, you need to start making progress and taking your action steps every day so you can get to where you want.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's commitment, you know, and going through all this is great, but unless you start taking action, like today, and start doing some of the things that you know you need or really needs to happen so that you can get what you want out of life, it's not going to happen. So you have to start today.
I started Tuesday. I was checking back in my book that I'm writing down what I have to do today and then whether I did it or not.
Okay, good.
Like yesterday, I was supposed to go take care of my dad and sort his pills. However, we had all these car problems going on. So that got scratched off. Today, I have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I'm doing okay. I'm getting there.
Okay, that's good.
And that's the only way I know how to be accountable to me, because I can create all this paper, but it goes into a file and then you don't look at it and you don't do anything. So the new thing you just put out today, that will help with that, because here's my overall objective, and here are all the little steps to get to there.
Mm-hmm.
And that will go in my brown folder, so I have to look at it every day.
And then
I limit,
ultimately, you want to make money with this. You know,
definitely.
you know, you want it to have a positive impact in all areas of your life and your lifestyle, but you need to make money. So
Agreed.
definitely need to take income producing activities on top of it.
I have bounced around on that, and so your input or anybody else's input is welcome. On the one hand, I want to be realistic, so I started at earned $500 in January. On the other hand, we continue to drop the price of this house and it isn't selling. So I don't know how much income is going to be gained from this. However, what I've ended up with is I don't have a monthly amount yet. What I ended up with was I need to be at $11,000 a month by the end of March. Sometimes when I look at that, I think, yes. And sometimes when I look at that, I think, have you lost your freaking mind? So maybe it needs to be a number in between that, or maybe I just need to say, you know what, girlfriend, you can do $11,000 in a month. Figure it out.
Yes. Yes. You can do it.
Other people
you have the tools. You have the tools right now in order to accomplish that. It may not, let's see, what would I say? Definitely $11,000 a month is doable. The biggest thing that you need to start doing is to start taking steps right now to get you to that point by March 31st. Set your deadline, you know, March 31st at 5:00 p.m. or midnight, whatever it is, you know, that you will hit $11,000 in income. And then break it down and figure out how can you. Chris Record always says, you know, ask yourself, how can I? How can I hit the $11,000 by March 31st? How can I take steps right now in order to achieve that goal? How can I put my ads out there to help me gain new followers that will help me earn $11,000 by March 31st? Always asking yourself, how can I? And then what else is possible? I heard that from somebody a couple of years ago, and he said, when you're asking yourself questions, you want to ask yourself open-end, uplifting questions that open up possibilities. So Chris Records phrase is, how can I? You know, and complete that. Another phrase is, what else is possible? There's a couple more, but I'm forgetting what they are at the moment. But what I've been asking myself more often lately, what else is possible? You know, because it's more open, it's more uplifting, and so you want to uplift yourself, and you want to open yourself up to new opportunities. You want to open yourself up to be ready to receive the great things that you deserve. Know that you deserve the wonderful things that you're asking for. Because
that's a really, really important point there.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
Yep. I have been reminding myself off and on. I don't do it daily, and I should do it daily, but I deserve to achieve all this that I've been working for because it's what I really want. And I'm worth it. You're worth it, Catherine.
Thank you. Yes, I am.
Yes, and you deserve it, and you want and you want to do things to raise your self-esteem and your self-confidence, and you've been doing a lot of that with learning new skills, but know that you're worth it and that you deserve these great things that you've been working for. And then take action that justifies all that.
I have one more question for you on another subject. Do you have a Shopify store?
I did start one, but I haven't really played with it much. I started it.
Did you check out Kit?
No, I have not.
I can't find anybody who has. I just wanted somebody else's opinion. Yeah, I used it. It was great. Yeah, I used it. It sucked. Because I'm about to go put money in my Facebook account, and I'm letting Kit run ads for me.
Okay.
I installed Messenger because I truly am not a social media person. I keep Facebook open only because I want to know what's going on in Resolve and Succeed, and what's going on with Vic, and what's going on with Chris. But I don't talk to anybody that way. And, you know, I might talk to you guys if I had to say something, but I'm not a social media person on any level. So the whole idea that I need to learn social media has always been more than overwhelming. I now have to learn to love a platform that I want to have no part of.
Okay, there's another option, because with the Shopify store, you have some cute products in your store. And if you want, there are other options that you can utilize, you know, because everybody talks about Facebook, Facebook, Facebook. You can always do like Pinterest. And Pinterest allows you to advertise your pins. If you find that you have a good pin that you really feel like might do well and it's low cost. The other option, another option is Instagram. And I know you probably don't have an Instagram account, but I was watching a webinar earlier this week that talked about Instagram, and I've seen it before. And I've known about it, but for whatever reason, I just haven't done it. I have an Instagram account that's growing, but what they were recommending is to find influencers who have a big following that you can buy a small ad from them, and they will post your product and the link to the product, or the link to your Instagram account, so that there's a echo.
You're good on my end.
Okay. So that you can have them post your product, and a lot of people use that route. So, and they make a good amount of money from it with a low cost ad. You know,
It's on Instagram.
On Instagram, it's a process. You know, it's not through advertising through Facebook. You know, that goes to Instagram. It's where you. To me, it's a tedious process, so that's why I haven't done it yet. But sorry, the echo is distracting me. But that is a process that you might want to look into if that makes you feel more comfortable. Because people have made money, a lot of money doing it that route, but there's a lot of investigating that goes into it, because you have to find the right Instagram account of an influential marketer, so that they have like hundreds and thousands of likes on their post, and then those people click on the post and like them and so forth and so on. So that is a process, but it would probably be better for you to investigate how to do that. I haven't done it
An
yet. So
influencer post an ad for you? What does that influencer do for you?
the influencer, you can contact influencers who have products or like are in retail, or who like if you have a high-end product that you want to market or sell, you can find influencers who might be likely to have followers who are more likely to buy that kind of stuff. And then influencers usually have like like it could be as low as 10,000, but odds are they're probably more like 100,000 followers. And you look for people who also have the number of followers, but they also have the followers who are very active and like their posts and stuff like that.
And how do they advertise your thing?
You pay them usually through PayPal, and and you set a date, after you have an agreement on what the fee is and everything, and then you set the date and you give them the picture, you give them the link, and then they will post that. Some people will change their profile link to match the link that you want to post, and then others will do a shout out to you on your Instagram account.
Okay.
So it just all depends on the process, but that is something you can look into. And there are a lot of people who make thousands of dollars that way.
Okay.
And it could be cheaper than going through Facebook ads. Although Facebook ads are extremely successful for a lot of people. There's another one that I'm looking into doing, and it has to do with a YouTube live stream and getting on page 1 of whatever keyword you're wanting to a keyword that you want to qualify for on page 1 of Google. And so I've watched a webinar on that yesterday. So I'm looking into experiment on that for 4%, but you can also do it for product.
Okay.
And so I'm working on that now. So I'm going to try it out. And if I find that there's some level of success, I'll be happy to share that.
Thanks.
Yeah, it might take me a few to see if it works. But it sounded intriguing. I'm like YouTube. I want to get more into YouTube and upload my videos and stuff. And this process was to set a live event in advance, like 3 or 4 days in advance, and go ahead and put in your keyword and description and all that kind of stuff. And then if you find that if it hits page 1 on the Google search for that keyword, whatever it is, then go ahead and do your video for that. Whether it's a product video, to where you can do like, different angles of the product and set it to a little bit of music or a few words and say, go buy now, stuff like that. And then you can do that. So
Okay.
that's a big process. But if it works, why not?
I'll let you know what I do next week and whether it worked or not.
Okay. Well, the influencer thing does take a lot of research. So
Okay.
just take your time on that, because there are some that are better than others. I just don't know who yet.
Okay.
Anything else before we close? Okay, I think we're done.
Bye, everybody. Have a great week.
You too.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
Bye. Y'all have a great week.
Right.
Take some action for your future.
Goal number one, 6 years old.
All right, bye.